Okay, my name is Masayasu Taniguchi. I'm Associate Professor of the Laboratory of Cellulogenology, Joint Faculty of Veterinary Medicine, Yamaguchi University. I'd like to thank you for inviting me to the chance to speak here today. Today, I'm here to talk to you about dairy housing and milking management in Japan. So first, I'd like to introduce about what is a comfortable barn for dairy cows. When we think about comfort for dairy cows, we need to consider not only the comfort of the cows, but also the comfort of the workers. A comfortable barn structure for dairy cow includes the following items. The first is a bed for easy rest. This one is very important. And this diagram shows the time budget of the cows. The resting time for cows is here. Resting time, it spends 10 to 11 hours, almost half of day. Therefore, the resting environment is very important. So this figure shows the relationship between resting time and milk production. Cows with a longer resting, like here, and these cows produce more milks. So second is the feed bank for easy eating. The third also the eating it takes 3 to 5 hours, and the third and it's the drinking, which takes drinking is here. The 0.5 hours, and they need the clean air. And fifth, and is a comfortable temperature and humidity. So today I will talk about the heat stress management, and moreover the walk away and the sound and the brightness are important for the comfortable barn. So what effect can we expect from a comfortable barn through the construction and the proper management? The first, increased milk production. The increased blood flow to the udder due to the increased lying down and resting on the floor. And the second, no illness or injury. The increased lying time reduces stress on the hoof and legs. And a clean cow, a clean cow floor environment helps prevent the mastitis. Easy walkways reduces follies. The third, the extended lifespan. No injury or the illness, they extend the renewal interval of the dairy cows. The fourth, the cost reduction. Easy eating food bank reduces the amount of the leftover food, and the lower treatment costs due to the fewer illness and injuries. The less damage to the facilities means lower repair costs. So there are several feeding management methods. So today I will introduce a typical system, the tie stall barn belonging to the stall barn system, and the free stall barn and compost bedded pack barns. These two belonging to the loose barn system. So this slide shows the body size of the Japanese dairy cow. The Japanese dairy facilities have been designed based on these averages. And for example, the height and is about 140 to 150 centimeter from the ground, and the length is here, and the length is normally measured from the cow's shoulder to the base of the tails. The cows are about 170 centimeter long. So first, I'd like to introduce about the Tysol ban. The Tysol ban is a traditional type that applied on the small farmers, the most major the dairy facilities. Each cow was designed. Each cow is designed straw, the access to the water and feed that is right in front of her, and is usually bedded with either sawdust or straw. So cows and stored with the comfort. So there are two types the bands. First side is the head-to-head system. This one is easy to feeding. This type is the cow's tail-to-tail system. This type of the ban, it's easy to milking. So the store structure and design a store with dimensions of the 125 to 130 centimeter in the width here, and 175 to the 180 centimeter length here. The weight is the 125 to 130. So this means that store lengths should be the design to be 5 to 10 centimeter longer than the length of the cow. Cow's length is 170, and the store length should be the 5 to 10 centimeter longer. So length of the chain should be such that it does not restrict drinking, feeding, or lying pasture. If the chain is too short, the animal will not be able to lick their hind legs. So to make sure the pipe does not touch the cow's neck, so as not to interfere with the eating position, here pipe does not touch the cow's meat, and the height of the feed bank should be the 5 to 15 centimeter above from the floor. Floor is here. The feed bank is the 5 to 15 centimeter higher than the floor. So water cup are placed on the bank. Water cup is here. To keep the store is dry. And one water cup per head is required. So next is the store surface. The optimal store surface should be soft, the cushioned, and non-slip, warm, and clean and dry, and also easy to maintain and clean. So typically, the cushion mats like this one are installed like this. One of the most important benefits of the providing a comfortable store for the cow is to maximize the lying time. So this figure shows the light blue bar is the standing time, then the deep blue bar shows the lying time, and the left side is the thin and hard the bed mat, and the middle is the thick and hard mat. The right side is the thin and soft mat. So the cows with the thick and soft mat, and the cows shows the more the longer lying time. How about the milk production? The right side is thin and hard. The middle is the thick and hard. The right is the thick and soft. Thin and hard mattress, the cows and decrease the milk production. So next is the bedding, and use the sawdust or the wheat straw as a bedding material to increase the comfort for the dairy cows when lying down to the rest. Sand bedding is recommended in the US and other countries to prevent the mastitis, but it is difficult to dispose the manure. So in Japan, the sawdust is the most common. So this slide shows the comfort test of the store. There are two simple tests to evaluate the comfort of the store. The first is the wet knee test. This test is done by the kneeling on the store for about 10 seconds. If the knees of your pants are wet, that means that it's not a clean, dry store. The second is the drop knee test. This test is to drop your knee on the store, like this. So if you feel the pain and cushioning is not enough, so it's very easy test. The first is the wet knee test and drop knee test. So this slide shows the bad signal about the cows. This cow's rump is streaking out of the stall, so it means the short stall. The length is not enough. So this stall is no bedding and uneven floors. These stalls and it makes difficult to stand up or lying down. So these two pictures shows the carpal joint swelling and hairless and abrasions. So this picture shows the hock swelling, the hairless and abrasions. And some cows with the hard the sores, and the cows show these signs. On the other hand, and the cows with the short sore like this, and the cows shows the signs. The next, and this is not enough water cup, and they need more water cup or clean and water cup. And this picture shows the dirty water cup. So it means the position of the water cup is too low. So it repairs the position of the water cup a little bit higher and to keep clean the water cup. So this cow, this cow's chain is too short. It makes it difficult to lie down or to stand up and prevents the feed eating. So chain length is very important. I think these cows feel free. So let's move on the milking system. The milking system in the tie stall, the tie stall barn, the cows cannot be moved. The pipeline system is usually installed in the thistle barn, like this. In this system, the air lines and the milking lines are placed above the cows, and the milking unit and operator are moved to the cow. Milking performance can be improved by installing the rails to facilitate the milk unit movement. Here is the rail and connected the milking unit, and it's very easy to move the unit to the cow. So there are also the hot transporters that allow the milk unit to move automatically on these rails. So next is a recommended milking method in Japan. So first, the preparing for the milking. So where the milking glove is very important. So do not milk with bare hands. Second, and always prepare at least one sterilized towel per cow for the whipping teeth. And make a special cut to carry the other cleaning towels, the dipping containers, etc. for easy operations. So this picture shows the example of the special cut. It's containing mastitis test kits and the paper towel to drying the teeth, and dipping container is here, and strip cup is here, and bucket for the used towel, and bucket with the disinfectants, and whipping cloth for the other. So it needs the one cloth for the one cow. So next is a basic milking procedure. The first for stripping with strip cup. Second, teeth whipping with sterilized towel. Third, drying the teeth with a paper towel. And fourth, the attached milking unit for 60 to 90 seconds after fourth strip, the first. We have to keep this procedure 1 to 4 within the 60 to 90 seconds. So after attach the milking unit, and the next is the removing the milking unit. The milking time within the 5 to 6 minutes. The last, after finish the milking, the post dipping. And now should be the ultimated if mastitis prevention and quality milk production are your goals. Pre-milking procedure should be performed in the same manner and order of the operation for milking. The order in which cows are milked can have an impact on the controlling the spread of the mastitis. By milking mastitis-free fast lactation cows is the first. The second and later lactation cows with low somatic cell counts, and this one is the second. The cows with a high somatic cell count is the third, and cow with the clinical mastitis is the last. So the chance of the spreading mastitis of organism from the cow to cow is reduced. So here are the details of each steps. The first, for stripping with the strip cup. Always wear the milking gloves, no milk and bare hands. The stripping each teeth 4 to 5 times and provide the sufficient stimulation to the teeth to stimulate oxytocin secretion. It's very important. and use a strip cap like this. Here is a strip cap. Here is also the strip cap. And to check for the coagulant blood or other abnormalities. And do not drop the milk on the floor. If there are any abnormalities, the mastitis test kit, like this one, will be performed. The next is the teeth whipping with the sterilized towel. They prepare the sterilized towel. They wipe the side of the teeth with the twisting motion like this. Twisting motion. Use a quarter of the towel to wipe each of the 4 teeth. These area use the teeth 1, this area and wipe the teeth 2, this area wipe the teeth 3, this area wipe the teeth 4. So use another towel if it is too dirty. The next, and whipping the teeth opening. The turn the towel over and carefully wipe the 4 teeth openings here in the same way, and using the quarter of the towel. And then they dry the teeth with a paper towel like this. So after drying the teeth, and the next is attach the milking unit. Apply 60 to 90 seconds after for a strip, and the fast teeth stimulations. This time is very important. The oxytocin secretion from the teeth stimulation peaks in the 1 to 2 minutes and end in about 5 minutes. Milking should be timed to coincide with the oxytocin secretion. And then they remove, after finish the milking, they remove the milking unit. It is important to finish the milking within 5 minutes when the oxytocin is being released. This allows for maximum milk production without stressing the teeth. Stop the vacuum and remove all four teeth cup at the same time. Some milk units have the sensor that detect the milk flow and automatically remove the unit according to the milk flow rate and milking time. So this automatically remove unit is very useful. So last is the post dipping. So purpose of the post dipping is to wash off the milk from the teeth during the milking. This infection the teeth to prevent the bacterial growth. To seal the teeth openings during the milking to prevent the bacteria from the bacteria entering, and to protect the teeth. Dip the teeth immediately after removing the milking device. Use a non-return dipper to dip the entire teeth. After dipping, let the cow standing until the teeth opening is closes. This one about 30 minutes. It's very important to prevent the mastitis. Okay, let's move on the next the system. The second is the loose span system. In loose span, the dairy cows can move the voluntary, which enable efficient feed management and helps maintain the health of dairy cows by facilitating feeding, drinking, drying, rest, and milking. So this system is popular in recent years. They are applied on the medium to the large farmers. Free stall ban allows cows to move around freely to eat, drink, and rest. But the poorly designed and maintained free stalls compromise the comfort of the cows. Excessive time on the concrete floor can lead to the hoof and leg problem. The stall structure. As with the stall of the tie stall van, the recommended dimensions are given according to the size of the dairy cows. The precautions are the same as for the stall structures of the tie stall van. Cows will not rest in their stalls if the stall is poorly designed, hard, or lacking of the headspace. Headspace is here. The cows needs the headspace to stand up like this. Here is a headspace. So if the wall is here, cows cannot stand up in the stall. So side partition, this is side partition. Side partition should be shaped so that the buttocks do not touch the fence. Buttocks do not touch the fence when they're lying down. It is also important that the top of the fence is sloped like this, and so that the head can easily to turn. The comfort of a stall can be indicated by how many cows in the stall are lying down. Almost cows lying down in the stalls like this is very good. So when the stall is comfortable, the lying rate is greater than the 80%. If the lying rate is less than the 70%, it can be concluded that there is some problem with the stall. So this slide shows the compost-bedded pack barns. This barn is also belonging to the loose barn system, and this barn includes the feed array is here, feed array, and the walking way and rest area. The composted bedded pack CBP brands are beginning increasingly popular with many dairy farmers around the world. This barn consists of feed array here and the walkway and resting area. The minimum of the 10 square meter per cow should be provided within the resting area. One cows need more than the 10 square meter. Uniform string the bed pack twice a day in an absolute the absolute requirement in the producing the soft, dry, and surface. The effective management of the compost bedding that must be maintained by the procedure in order to successfully reap the benefits of the CBP burn. The most critical factor for the managing successful the CBP burn is providing comfortable dry resting surface for the cows at all times. So this slide shows the bad sign in the freestall burn and CBP burn. This one is the patching. The patching means standing with their front legs in the stall and the rear feet in the array. The patching is an indication that the cow is feeding cramp in the bank, which can lead to the unnecessary sowing of the hind hooves and increase risk of the hoof disease. So this picture shows the diagonal standing and lying. If the stall is too wide, the cow will stand or lie at an angle, which will cause the defecate on the stall like this, directly contaminating the tail and other. It's increasing the risk of the mastitis. This picture discards the lying backwards. The cows lying backwards, turning away from the stall. They dislike the pointing to the opening space need for the freedom or normal motions. These two pictures is the CBP burns, the wet resting area surfaces. The cows is very beauty. The wet resting surfaces increase the incidence of the dirty cows, and the mastitis, and PDD, the hoof disease, and elevated the somatic cell counts. So this slide shows the recommended feed bank structure, the both freestall and CBP burn. The feed bank surface should be the 10 to 15 centimeter higher than the floor surface. This is same to the tie stall. From the floor, the 10 to 15 centimeter higher than the floor. To maximize the feed intake, and the width of the feed bank per animal should be at least 70 centimeter. For post and rail, the rail should be the 120 centimeter higher. Where is the 120 centimeter higher? And 25 to 35 centimeter forward. 25 to the 35 centimeter forward. So if you use a headlock like this, and headlocks should be tilted towards the feed bank and away from the cows by the 20 to 30 centimeter like this, at the top of the increased access to the feed. So next is the managing of the water flow. The milking dairy cows can drink 70 to the 150 liters of the water. And very short time period, depending on their production and environmental temperature. The cows drink at the rate of the 4.5 liter per minute. Thus, the water reserve and the flow rate are very important. Water should be located close to feed area and return erased from the milking parlor. The number of the tanks should be at least one for every 15 to 20 cows, or minimum of about 60 centimeters of tank space per the 20 cows. There should be at least 2 drinking area per groups. In addition, the water should be cleaned out weekly. This water tank is very nice and equipment. It's very easy to clean up in the tank. And the walkway and the feed array. The feed array needs to be wide enough to accommodate cows eating and the cows moving behind them. It needs 4 meters. The walkway should be wide enough for the 2 cows to pass each other with room to the spare. This pattern it needs 2.5 meters. Cows are very uncomfortable with the slippery surfaces. Therefore, if the surface passage is slippery, the walking or moving will greatly affect it. It means the cows don't eat or don't drink. Also, any inconvenience in the shape of the surface can quickly cause damage to the hoof. The walkway will grooved into the concrete to prevent the slippage, like this, grooving like this. This one is the diamond shape grooving. The number of the band with rubber mat in the walkways is increasing. So how about the milking system? The milking system in the loose pan, the milking parlor applied in the loose pan. Milking parlor are classified according to whether the cows are elevated above the person doing the milking. Flat parlor versus elevated parlor. The type of the stall used to confine cows during the milking and cows entry and exit methods. Milking parlor are rapidly changes in the size and design with increasing in the hard size. Rapid exit parlors, rapid exit parallel parlors like this, and rotary parlor are popular in the large dairy herds. So this slide shows the milking robots. Milking robots automatically milking system and where milking is performed without direct participation of the operator. The cows are milked throughout the day, including the 1 or 2 hours needed for the cleaning the equipment. An average number of milking per day is 2.5 to 3. The result is by the 10 to 15% higher production. Cows may visit the milking robot voluntarily, or they may be directed through the automatic gate. So generally, in barns with a milking robot, cows are kept indoors all year. So I will show the videos. Okay, I will move on the final section and talk about the managing of the heat stress. Summer in Japan is the hot and humid, very severe heat stress. The heat stress reduces not only the milk production, but also the pregnancy rate. Management of the heat stress is very important, and many measures are being taken on the dairy farmers. This figure shows the milk production in Japan. From June to the September, October, the milk production is decreasing. The same summertime, this picture shows the pregnancy rate in Japan. In summer season, the pregnancy rate is decreasing. So the temperature and the humidity index, THI is often used to indicate the degree of the stress, because not only the temperature, but also the relative humidity has a significant effect on the heat stress. If you measure the temperature and the relative humidity, then you can easily calculate the THI in the chart on the left. This is a THI chart. This side is the temperature, and this side is the relative humidity. So now the Japan is 32 degrees Celsius, and humidity is 50. So now the THI is 81 in Japan. So when the THI exceeds the 72 area is here, the cows begin to feel heat stress, and the pregnancy rate begin to decline. When THI exceeds the 80, the milk production is severely affected. Today is over the 80. So when the THI exceeds the 90, the milk production decreases very significantly, and the cows show the signs of the substress and may eventually die. In Japan, the TH can easily exceed the 80 in the summer. So this is the monthly THI changes for the last summer. And the dot line is the June, and the big dot is the July, and the red line is the August, and the double line is the September. So the time of the day is here, and 1 a.m. to the 24th. And in June, THI can reach the warning levels, more than the 75 to 80 in June is here during the daytime. In the rainy season, July, in Japan, July is the rainy season. The temperature drops and humidity rises. So the THI also keeps the high. In July is here. In August, and the hottest month, the THI remains high at night. This is August, and it reaches more than the 85 afternoon, and moreover, the nighttime keep more than the 70. So this is the equipment, it's a TH meter. The bottom half is the temperature. Temperature is here, and hygrometer. And then the top of half is the THI meter. So this picture shows the 28 degrees Celsius and the 50% related to humidity, and THI is 72, orange area. The more color changes, the more heat stress the dairy cows are experiencing. THI can easily measured by the installing the THI meter like this in a barn. So this slide shows the cow signal of the heat stress. And the cows under the heat stress, they increase the respiratory rate. The more than the 60 respiration per minute, we call the panting. Sometimes the cows exceeds the more than the 150, and increase the in-body temperature. Sometimes the patching is the one of the heat stress sign. And some cows lying the wet walkway like this. And cows gathered around the water tank. And then they decrease the food intake, decrease the milk production, and decrease the fertility rate, the mastitis, and a lot of signs. So how to manage the heat stress? So, and there are many options for the dealing with heat stress. I'd like to introduce the 3 ways. And the first, ventilation and blowing. The second, lowering body temperature by vaporizing the heat through the evaporation. The 3, the lowering the temperature of the space by the blocking the heat. The first, ventilation and blowing. And changes in airflow affect the convective cooling, which has a very large effect on the regulating the heat stress. Applying airflow to cow can reduce their appearance temperature. The effect of the wind on appearance and the temperature can be calculated as shown left tables. The wind speed is here. If the cows gets the wind with these speeds, the cows feel the chill effect. So for example, the outside temperature is 25. Cows with 1 meter per second wind, the cows feel the 90 degrees, little bit cool. So this temperature we call the apparent temperature. So the recommended effective wind speed during the heat stress for dairy cows in Japan is about 2 meters per second. 2 meters per second is recommended. It means the 2 meters per second wind, and the cows can feel minus 8.5 degrees Celsius. However, when the temperature rises above 30 degrees, the chill effect is decreasing. Furthermore, it is difficult to apply the same wind to the all dairy cows at all times. So this slide shows the example of the using anemometer to evaluate the wind speed in all stalls. Anemometer. So this is the tie stall barn structure, and the black circle is the cooling fan. Cooling fan is here, here, here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 30. And 30 fans at the left side, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 fans at the right side stalls. The one fan is installed for every 3 cows. Some stalls have cleared 2.0 meters per second, and like here 2.7 and 2.7, 2.2, but not all. The wind is especially weak right under the fan, right under the fan, right? So right here is a fan, but these cows can fill only the 0.8 meter per second. Based on this evaluation, the dairy owners need to think about adding fans and adjusting the angles. It is also important to understand that the dust will reduce power of the fan. So this dirty fan is not good, and the owners have to clean up the cooling fan. So how to adjust the fan? The most effective cooling area for cows is from the neck to the chest, red circle area. In Tysol ban, adjusting the airflow so that it is directed towards the chest area will have a great effect. In freestyle bands, and it is desirable to set up the system to so that the wind is directed to the front of the feed bank or the bed, not or, and bed. So this slide shows the apparent temperature and the cow's response. The left side is the relationship between the apparent temperature and the respiratory rate. The right side is a relationship between the apparent temperature and the body temperature. At an apparent temperature about 20 degrees, the respiration rate began to increase. About 20 degrees, the respiratory rate is increasing. And about 22 degrees Celsius, body temperature began to rise. When the apparent temperature exceeds 27 degrees, cows began to panting. The respiratory rate is more than the 60 at 27 degrees Celsius, and their body temperature increased by the 1 degrees. Normally, the 38.5 and over the 27 apparent temperature, the body temperature increased almost 1 degree. So second method is lowering the body temperature by vaporizing heat through the evaporation. So when the temperature exceeds 30 degrees, fan also do not provide the sufficient cooling effect. There are two types of the cooling systems that use vaporization heat. So first is the fog cooling system, and second is the feed line soaker system. The fog cooling system, it holds water droplets of the fine particles, so it is basically does not wet the floor. Rather than wetting the cows directly, the fine mist is sprayed into the air, which is then diffused and evaporated by the fan to cool the air. By cooling the air, we can indirectly cool the cows. The finer the water particles, the easier it is for them to evaporate and cool the air. However, when the relative humidity is high, the water particles have the difficulty evaporating and cannot cool the air. If floor and the cow's body is wet, discontinued use. So in Japan, the humidity is very high, and it's very difficult to use the fog cooling system. So by using a fan and mist together, we are able to lower the temperature of the room and lower body temperature are cows. Before the body temperature, the thermometer shows the red area is very spreading, but after use the mist and fans, and the cow's surface temperature is decreasing. So next is the feed line soaker system. This system is spraying the water directly like this onto the cows. Wet the cow's shoulders, backs, and rump. They apply about a liter of the water at the time for about 1 minute, and then dry with a fan for a few minutes and apply water again. This is very effective for cooling, but require a lot of the water and the risk of the mastitis must be managed. If the cow's body is still wet or the bun is flooded with the water, the humidity will increase and the cows may feel uncomfortable. It is important to make sure the sprayed water is evaporated. This is the feed line soaker. This is the walkway, the soaker system. So since the introduction of the soaker system, the production of milk have increased. The farmway is here, and before using the soaker system in summer, and the farmway produced 32.3 kilograms per day the milk. After using the soaker system, they increased about 2 kilograms per day. Another farm, the farm B, it's also increased 2 to 3 liter per day. This is some cameras, the pictures, and before soaking, the cow's shoulder is a very hot, red area, red and white. It's a very hot. After soaking, it's decreased the surface temperature like this. So the third way is lowering the temperature of the space by the blocking heat. It is also important to block the heat itself. In addition to measures such as using block out the curtains or the green curtain is like this, and they block the sunlight. When the roof surface becomes hot due to the solar radiation, the dairy cows feel the heat due to the radiation heat. Water sprayed like this, water spray to cool the roof surface insulation is used to prevent the attic from getting hot, and the highly reactive contains the use for the reduces the temperature rise the roof like this. So this one is the roof coating. So by painting the roof like this, the temperature in the attic was reduced by about 10 degrees like this, minus 9.7 degrees after painting the roof. And installing the solar panels like this on the roof can also lower the temperature the roof. So last, don't forget the water is vital under the heat stress. The water is most important feed. The water should be fresh, the high quality and quantity. The majority of the water intake will occur after milking. We have to prepare enough high quality fresh water. So this is a conclusion. Provide the cattle with a comfortable barn to maximize the production. Comfortable barn structure for dairy cows includes the following items. The first is a bed for easy rest. The second, feed bank for easy eating. The third, water tank for easy drinking. Then, of course, the clean air. And the five, the comfortable temperature and humidity. And then the each walkway and the sound and the brightness. So this is the final message. The happiness of the cows leads to the happiness of their owners. Okay, thank you for your attention.